I mean, it's a little strange doing this because Brig and I usually alternate, so there's no issue as to who's leading in which segment. But I'm going to do it this time because we got to get Brig caught up. And we thought that we would reintroduce him to you, our listeners, via a rundown. Now, it's not going to be a traditional rundown. It's going to be like a hybrid because we got to get him caught up on some of the topics we talked about, give him a chance to speak his truth into the microphone as far as his opinions and things like that, because that's what this platform is for us to talk baseball to you. Also, there's going to be some rundown questions in there mixed in. So, Brig, are you ready?
I'm ready, I think.
All right. First question. What is your quest?
Peace and clarity.
Very good.
Yeah.
What is your favorite color?
It feels so different on this side. White is my favorite color. Don't give me that absence or presence of all color thing. I don't want to hear
it. Fascinating. Yeah. Okay. What are your thoughts on Yasiel Puig going to the KBO, our beloved KBO?
Oh, man. Talk about a culture clash. That dude has enough personality to disrupt the entire peninsula. So I think what is going to happen is that either he will get kicked out or they're going to name a team after him. I don't know which it's going to be, but one of those two things is going to happen. It'll be the NC Dinos are playing the Doosan Puigs. Is what's going to happen.
They're just going to be the Wild Horses. They'll be the Doosan Wild Horses. That's what it'll be.
That's exactly
what it'll be. I think that's.
And their mascot will walk around licking a bat. Just that's. And everybody in the stands with their mini bats, they'll go.
It'll be a horse with his tongue out of its mouth. It'll just be.
That's exactly right.
Always
exactly right. Or they'll kick him out and he'll try Taiwan.
Yeah, might see him on Australia eventually. I don't know. That's
exactly.
I don't think
he's just
going
to follow Manny Ramirez around. Is what he's going to
do. He probably will.
Manny being Manny, and there's Yasiel. There it is. The peas and carrots.
All right, Brig. Next question.
All right.
If baseball were a beverage, what would it be?
Lemonade. A nice, refreshing, ice cold lemonade. It's just enough tart. It's just enough sweet. It's perfectly balanced. It's the thing you want on a hot day. It's acceptable to anyone and their moral compass. Everybody can drink lemonade. There's not a kosher problem. There's not an alcohol problem. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's lemonade, bro. Come at me.
That's perfect.
Thanks, man.
I like that.
I've never heard that question, but I've thought about that question.
Okay. Now, Cody Bellinger signed a 1-year, $17 million deal to avoid arbitration, but the news came out about 2 or 3 weeks after I guess it actually came out like between Christmas and New Year's, but the team said the deal was reached about 2 weeks right before the CBA expired. My question for you, do you think that there is potential for backdoor dealings going on right now with the lockout?
Oh, of course. And Scotty B's at the 4. He's up there with his battle axe and his shield, and he's like, who are we going to mow down? You know what I mean? He's got his picket line behind him. They're in a phalanx position. All his lawyers with their spears behind him. It's like Leonidas in 300. That's exactly what's happening. He's like, my shield is obscuring my vision or whatever.
Very good.
His helmet, rather. Sorry.
What is your thought on MLB firing Ken Rosenthal for his criticism of Rob Manfred?
That is a great question, and I just wanted him to know that we have a spot for him here.
Most certainly.
So I don't know what he's worried about, if he is worried at all. It shouldn't be.
I don't think he is.
He can come on the Baseball Together podcast and have a platform to bash on Rob Manfred all he wants, anytime. We'll welcome it. Ken, bring your bow tie. Get over here, man. Let you get a free hat. It'll be awesome.
Well, we live at the corner of Fire Rob Manfred, and Brig has old man opinions and crankiness. So
That's exactly right. Curmudgeonery, I think, is the
curmudgeonry.
technical
Yes,
term.
there it is. That is the
No, I
technical
think
term.
it's more evidence of this fiefdom that Rob has created, which again makes no sense to me. He's got to be just this puppet that is being pulled by somebody else. That there's no way that Rob Manfred is at the heart of all of this buffoonery. That's impossible. So I want to know what the left hand is doing while we're all being distracted by the right, which is back to your previous question. But on top of that, for you to be, just not just discriminated against, but I mean, this is persecution. I hate it. I think they can fire whoever they want, but if
Right.
they're going to come right out and say, you poo-pooed the boss, and so we have to let you go. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
come on, man.
And that is one of the things that we talked about last week, is that like you have to be willing to accept some level of criticism, but like I also understand the freedom of speech without freedom of consequence kind of thing, like especially in the
100%.
workplace.
Yes.
Like yeah, he poo-pooed the boss on somebody else's clock, and he's got to be more self-aware and not quite so sensitive with that paycheck running that level of organization, that he
Right.
can't he's got to be able to handle the criticism, because there are media people in other outlets and other sports who criticize the commissioner for the job they're doing, and they don't get fired.
Right. Well, and not only
So
that, but guess what? He's a journalist. You're going to pay a journalist to report the news, and that includes public opinion, whether it's his opinion or not. So he editorializes every once in a while. Guess what? He's a tenured journalist. They editorialize a little bit. It's not a complicated situation. If you're going to pay journalists to be on the staff, you have to open yourself up to a certain amount of internal liability. Like, it's going to come back around. It's okay. Listen, this bugs me for a very personal reason. So when we were in college, we were both journalism students. Brad and I were, baseball family. And at one point in time, the journalism team started digging up information that made our university not look so good. And we wrote about it and we published it. And then when Brad and I left, the people after us kept writing about it and kept publishing it. And there are people, of whom I may be one, who may or may not have been squozen by the powers that be a little bit and leaned on, and maybe thinly veiled threats coming from like top down onto Po Diddley student journalist here, right? And guess what? Now there's no student journalism program at that school.
Yep.
Get over
For the
it.
record, I didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, you didn't know. That was me. I started it. I poked a bunch of other people kept going after we got together and poked the bear. Brad was not involved. I was, though.
I was hanging out at the athletic department while they were doing all this. So anyway,
it was really fun. Sorry, guys.
So, Brig, what if the Yankees were an ice cream flavor? What would they be?
Oh, man. I have to answer that question a little obliquely.
Okay.
Because I don't like ice cream, but that's neither here nor there. That has no bearing on my answer, but I don't like ice cream. Even if I loved ice cream with every fiber of my being, as I know many of you do, I do not think that there is an ice cream flavor yet developed that is regal enough, that is tasty enough, that is superior to that degree against all the rest to exist yet. So in lieu of an actual answer, I'm going to come up with something right now. I'm going to say it would be a Neapolitan blend Rocky Road with gold leaf. And the gold leaf would be schnozberry flavored.
Very fancy. Because the schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
That's exactly right.
Very, very fancy. Okay,
that's what it would
last
be.
one. Last one for you here. This is actually a two-part question. What were the best and worst of last year for you with baseball?
The best is that we had baseball.
Okay.
And a full season of it. That's the best.
Okay.
Did you say first and second best or what? Just best and worst?
Best and worst. Best and worst.
Yeah, the best is that we had the season, and the worst was Rob Manfred. I mean, give me a hard question.
That's I said the worst person last year was Rob Manfred. Yeah,
it really was.
That is the right answer.
Calling a piece of metal and all this, whatever, freaking idiot.